Bad code rarely kills projects. Wrong requirements do. And the fastest way to end up with wrong requirements is not understanding which types of requirements actually exist and what problem each one is supposed to solve. In this video, I'll walk you through the 4 main types of software requirements using the BA-BOK classification that I personally find the clearest and easiest to apply in real projects. By the end, you'll be able to look at any requirements and immediately say what type is this and where does it belong. There are different ways to classify requirements. Carl Wiggers has his own model, other frameworks have theirs, but the BA-BOK, Business Analysis Body of Knowledge, classification is simple, logical and easy to remember, especially if you work as a business analyst or product owner and deal with requirements every day. So let's go through it. First, business requirements. These answer one core question: why are we doing this at all? They describe business goals, objectives and outcomes, not features, not screens, not buttons. Some examples: increase online sales by 15%, reduce manual processing time, comply with a new regulation, enter a new market. Business requirements apply at a high level. They can affect the whole company, a department or a specific initiative. And this is important. Business requirements do not describe solutions. They describe the reason for change. Next, stakeholder requirements. Once we know why the business wants change, we ask who is affected and what do they need. Stakeholder requirements describe the needs of specific people or groups. Examples: a customer wants to track their order. A warehouse manager needs faster picking. A regulator requires audit logs. Customer support needs visibility into order status. These requirements act as a bridge. They connect business goals to what the solution must eventually do. Still no system behavior yet, just needs and expectations. Now we move into solution requirements. This is the part where most business analysts spend the majority of their time, especially on real delivery projects. Solution requirements describe what the solution must do and how well it must do it in enough detail for developers, testers and designers to actually build it. And this is where analysis becomes very hands-on. Solution requirements are split into 2 types. First, functional requirements. These describe system behavior. What the system should do, what actions are available, what data is created, updated or displayed. Examples: the system must allow users to reset their password. The system must calculate delivery cost. The system must store and display order history. On many projects, this is where BA works the most. Writing user stories, defining acceptance criteria, clarifying edge cases, answering developers and QA questions. If someone asks what exactly should the system do in this situation, you're almost always dealing with the functional requirement. Second type is non-functional requirements, also called quality requirements or quality attributes. These don't change what the system does, they define how well it must do it. Some examples: performance, page loads under 2 seconds. Security, only authorized users can access financial data. Availability, system uptime of 99.9%. Usability, the checkout process must be completable by a first-time user in under 60 seconds without assistance. These are often underestimated and sometimes remembered too late, but they have a massive impact on user experience, risk and cost. In many teams, functional and non-functional requirements are the core day-to-day work for a business analyst, of course depending on the project, domain and team setup. And finally, transition requirements. These are the most misunderstood ones. Transition requirements exist only during the change from the current state to the future state. Once the transition is complete, they disappear. Some examples: data migration from the old system, user training sessions, temporary reports during rollout, parallel run of 2 systems. They are real requirements, but they are temporary by nature. And because of that, they're often forgotten, which causes painful go-live problems. So the full picture looks like this. Business requirements explain why. Stakeholder requirements explain who and what they need. Solution requirements explain what the system does and how well. Transition requirements explain how we get there. Different purpose, different level, different audience. Mix them up and confusion starts immediately. This classification comes from the BA-BOK guide, which is basically the official reference for business analysts. I've made a separate video where I explain what BA-BOK is, how it's structured and how it's actually used in practice. You can find the link in the description below. If this video helped you see requirements more clearly, leave a like and consider subscribing. It really supports the channel. And tell me in the comments which type of requirements causes the most confusion in your projects. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.